This is Cyfarthfa in Merthyr Tydfil. Iron making started here 200 years ago. It soon became the greatest centre of iron making in the world, the crucible of the Industrial Revolution.
When you look at the history of this place, some people have said that it's a story of from green to black to green again. I mean, this was a stunning valley. And then, of course, along came industry, came Cyfarthfa, came other ironworks across all these valleys. They were here for 200 years, and then suddenly it all stopped.
Cyfarthfa Castle and the park was really built by William Crawshay II, and he was the grandson of Richard Crawshay. And Richard Crawshay was not the originator of the Cyfarthfa ironworks, but he was the man who made it the greatest ironworks in the world.
Cyfarthfa Castle is a cherished local museum. But all is not well. The school that occupied part of the building for a century left 7 years ago. Despite the council spending more than £1 million recently on urgent repairs, some parts of the building are decaying and winter weather is taking its toll. Urgent work is needed.
The thing about buildings is appearances can often be deceptive. You can walk around some of the main museum rooms on the ground floor in Cyfarthfa and it looks wonderful. But above those rooms, there is this. There is this kind of deterioration. There is this amount of water coming into the building. And this is a threat to the best of the rooms, as well as to a large part of the fabric of the building. Because this is really two buildings. The castle itself was built in 1820 for the Crawshays, and a school, a secondary school, was built onto the back of it in the 1920s. And in 7 years, the school part of the building has deteriorated markedly with a lot of water ingress and the kind of damp and deterioration that you see behind me.
On an autumn day in 2017, more than 60 people attended an intensive day of ideas generation at Cyfarthfa, created by the Design Commission for Wales and resulting in the Crucible Report. This was backed by Merthyr Council, and in 2019, world-renowned consultants were appointed to find a solution. The master plan is the result of 12 months' work by a team led by Ian Ritchie architects, including landscape architects Gustafsson, Porter and Bowman. They have proposed enlarging Cyfarthfa Park to stretch right across the valley.
The first thing to say, it's huge, the potential, not only for the people of Merthyr Tydfil. There has to be an ambition which draws on what work has already been done in the valleys at a level which could be appreciated on the global scale. I think that Wales, with its origins within the Industrial Revolution, has within its grasp now another dimension to give to the world.
The Cyfarthfa Park has huge potential in terms of its landscape. You already have a beautiful existing landscape with the Tafecan and the Tafar, the woodland around the castle, and then you have this incredible industrial heritage where nature has taken over.
The consultants were insistent that this should not be a top-down exercise.
One of the things the whole design team found the most exciting and the most refreshing was actually that everyone in Merthyr is incredibly opinionated and very proud of their town. The Cyfarthfa Plan itself has been born out of our work with the Merthyr community and local and national organisations. And during that time, we developed 3 key themes as a result of those conversations: history and heritage, the natural environment, and contemporary creativity. And what we found is these themes came out quite strongly during that research and the interviews, and have therefore become inherent really to the whole of the Cyfarthfa Plan.
We imagined the forecourt, which is currently a car park, being transformed into a new public plaza. And one of the important interventions will be a new access route entering from the north into a spectacular new greenhouse walkway that people can approach the castle from.
The castle itself had greenhouses, it grew its own food. for the people that lived and worked there. And picking up on that theme enables us to deal with the topographical assault course at the moment of coming down the site through the woods. It's quite a steep walk. And through the use of glass houses, we can actually create a rather beautiful, elegant, historic and informative route into the castle.
A key task for the team was to reconnect both sides of the valley.
It was inspired largely by water and a drawing held at the Tate Britain of a sketch by Mr. Turner of the waterway from the Taff Rivers down to the furnaces. And that was a majestic wooden structure, a water carrier in the old traditional sense of the great viaducts from Rome, Constantinople, through to the Welsh valleys. And in this particular case, it inspired the connectivity, the dark sky, a great piece of sculpture, art, poetry, a beautiful walk, a place for kids to run, to have events on, as well as join up the park.
And we imagine that the furnaces could be the backdrop for a sound and light show that tell the story of the industrial past. So hopefully through the landscape we will begin to reveal and tell the history of the site.
Young people and education are at the heart of the project.
The plan itself, there are about 70 or so different projects that have been considered, and they're not just built projects, there are also events, there are also community programs. We have a series of community gardens and community production spaces within Cyfarthfa Park. There's spaces that will be left over for natural biodiversity projects to help enhance that biodiversity. And there's also, we have suggested a series of schools projects, potentially national competitions, which have an environment-led program to them.
I think for youngsters growing up in the town, it's going to be of great benefit. For people that we're teaching here at Cyfarthfa High School at the moment, they are the ones who are going to be in their 30s and 40s benefiting from this completed plan. It's going to mean jobs, it's going to mean secure future of the town and of the area, and of course an ability to appreciate the history of the area and the value of Merthyr Tydfil as a whole.
Cyfarthfa Castle to me is such a statue for young people, and it's a place that they love to go, myself including. In our history lessons here at Cyfarthfa High School, we've been able to learn about the culture and the past, and the Cyfarthfa Plan now is going to be something really important for young people, especially in our future, not only myself but the next generation as well.
This is such an exciting time for us in Cyfarthfa High School and the community of Merthyr. We will be able to link our learning with the community, embed it further than we currently do already, and just provide some exciting opportunities for students to learn in school and within the community of Merthyr, in particular Cyfarthfa Park.
For many years, Merthyr's been a sleeping giant in the South Wales valleys, and this is a plan like no other that I've seen. It's 100 hectares of an industrial heritage park, which is going to create, up to 200 jobs, full-time jobs when completed. The days of heavy industry are gone, and Merthyr's always been famous for reinventing itself. Tourism is our future. Learning from our past, learning from our heritage, and turning that now into a modern-day tourist attraction, tourist industry. This is just going to be another string to the bow.
This plan isn't looking backwards alone, it's also looking forward. Huge amount of skill and creativity here, and the assets are, they're in need of some TLC, if you like, but they also need to be valued and understood for their contribution to the future of Cyfarthfa and to the wider Merthyr Tydfil.
I siarad am y trust, i ni'n cefnogi'r plan yn hollol, cant y cant, ac wrth gwrs gyda hwn, mae posibilrwydd i dod â tourism i fewn i'r ardal ac i'r ôl gwaith. A mae gwaith yn bwysig dros ben. I ni wedi colli'r hen gwaith, i ni wedi colli'r pyllau glo. A mae'n rhaid wneud rhywbeth wahanol, a rwy'n credu dyma gyfle i ni wneud
Mae'r prosiect yma yn mynd i wneud gwahaniaeth mawr i adfywiad yr ardal. Dyn ni wedi gweld fel sefydliad bach i gymharu gyda hwn, faint o gwahaniaeth mae wedi wneud o ran y sefyllfa economeg yn yr ardal. A mae rhywbeth fel un jyst yn cymryd yr holl peth i lefel wahanol, achos mae e'n rhywbeth genedlaethol, mae e'n rhywbeth rhyngwladol hyd yn oed. Dwi'n meddwl mae e'n mynd i wneud llawer iawn o wahaniaeth.
If you no longer have iron, if you no longer have coal, if you no longer have Hoover factory and all the other factories that came to Merthyr in South Wales, how else do you have a community that survives and that deserves to survive because they have their roots in this place? A project that will provide work, a project that will give pride, a project that will bring people from all over Britain and the world to see what went on here is very, very important and necessary.
The Welsh Government is already investing £700,000 in developments at the park as a discovery gateway, but this plan takes things a whole stage further. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to weave our heritage and archival assets together into strong, clear narratives. Together we can tell the world the extraordinary stories of social and technological change, radicalism, innovation and the creativity that were made in Merthyr Tydfil.
The Cyfarthfa Plan's about many things. It's about making the most of Merthyr's history, its environment and the creativity of the place. It's also about celebrating Merthyr's past and trying to create a new future. It's about changing the world's view of Merthyr and possibly even Merthyr's view of itself. It's about turning this place into a new national institution rather than a local museum. Something that will draw hundreds of thousands of people to Wales to come and see it and to actually learn about the history of the place.
It's a new approach that combines both heritage, buildings, tourism, social and structural renewal for a town, but the fundamental, the real central part of it is it's about the well-being of people into the future. And we all need space, and we all need hope, and we all need things that will inspire us. And within this plan of many projects, and many projects both live, active as well as physical, lie that energy that will carry people through to a happier place.